Hello, and welcome to the introduction video to the Zoning Notifier, a new GIS application by Muskegon County GIS deployed for zoning administrators and the zoning notification process. My name is Thomas Van Bruggen, and today I'll be giving you a brief tour through the new application to get you started. So let's go ahead and get started ourselves. When you first load the application, you will see this splash screen that is a terms and conditions. Once you read through those terms and conditions and agree to them, you can click the I agree button in the lower left, followed by clicking the OK button in the lower right. Once that screen goes away, you will be presented with the introductory view of the application. The general application is designed to work by a search, followed by a selection of parcel or parcels that need to be buffered for a zoning notification. Once buffered, then the creation of a CSV spreadsheet file or a PDF Avery 5160 labels file can be created. Also, a map showing the area that's being notified can be created as well. Let's walk through this process. So the application has been designed for that step-by-step process I just outlined. So let's start by searching. We could search by a pin by default, and it tells you what it's looking for right in the box, or you can choose this drop-down arrow. The drop-down arrow lets you know that you could pick a pin, an owner name, the parcel's notifier, the property combined address, or all. I like to just select all, but you can choose what's appropriate. Today, we'll search for 990 Terrace. So as I start typing, as soon as it recognizes a pattern after about 5 characters, it will suggest possible matches. Since my match is there, I'll go ahead and click on that. And you'll see that the map zooms into that property and gives you a basic property pop-up information window with the parcel number, owner's name, address, and mailing information. That just helps you get your bearings. I will go ahead and close that window, or that little pop-up, and we'll start the zoning notification process. The new process requires you to select a parcel or parcels. So I'll mouse over, but not click yet, the select button to show you that it gives you a pop-up tip that says to create a new selection, drag the mouse. To add to the selection, you can hold your shift key and drag, or to remove, you hold the control key. So a simple drag operation is to mouse over your property, left click and hold your mouse, click the button first. When I click that button, it clears the searched feature. I will left click and hold down, it gives you a little pop-up tip there, and I will select the given property. In this case, because the county also owns the parking lot area behind, I'm going to hold my shift key and drag another box, and you can see that that is now selected along with the subject properties. I'm going to click this box then to say apply a search distance. When I apply the search distance, it automatically buffers out and then selects the surrounding properties that intersect that buffered area. I can change the default distance from 325 to whatever I would like. So if I choose 100 feet and then click in the next box, it will update that and shrink that down to a 100-foot buffer. In this case, most zoning notifications are around 300 feet, and I always suggest a little bit of a buffer area, a little extra area, so that just in case the maps are not perfectly correct, which they often aren't, it's better to over notice by a parcel or two than to under notice. So I'll use 325 feet today. Once I've done that, it's already selected, and I unselected it by accidentally clicking that, so I will reselect that. It researches, and I am going to now choose to determine what the addressee layer is. It, by default, is parcels public for the notifier. That's the only option, and that's all you need. And then it's asking, what do I want to do next? Do I want a comma-separated values file, or do I want a PDF? So let's start with a comma-separated values file. It tells me 58 addresses are found, and I can just simply click download. And in Chrome, in the lower left side, I get my download notification. I'll click that, and it will open up Microsoft Excel for my program. And just like that, I have a simple list separated into columns that I could use for a notification, a mail merge into a letter, or any other application I need, or just to keep it in my file of records. You can simply save that out of your downloads to wherever you need to save your overall project files. The other choice I have is to download a PDF label, which is the Avery 5160 format. So I'll click that and I'll simply say download, and it quickly goes through. And once I open it, I have a PDF file of my mailing labels. I could then send that to my printer with labels inserted into the printing tray and be able to use those on an envelope or as needed. Go ahead and close that window. And so the next part is to really show you about printing a map. So now, with that information printed, I am going to show you these three tools up here. We've got a drawing tool, a measuring tool, and the printing tool. Drawing is simply just that. I can choose different shapes, lines, polygons, or areas, as well as text. So I'm going to simply choose a push pin. I'm going to put it on my main property. Then I'm going to choose my text and say subject property. We'll leave that as a black color. Maybe I'll play with increasing the font a little bit. Font size. I'll come over to my map and I'll click that and it puts the subject property in there. I could also draw lines around any feature that I need to. Choose some different line styles, dashes, dots, anything that works. And I just do a sequence of clicks to draw my area that I would like. Click. I'll just come back here and I'll double click to finish that. Now, anything I draw on this will remain until I either clear and reset the map or reset the whole entire application. But let's say I'm happy with that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to move the map by just left clicking and holding and dragging it down. So I've got my whole buffered area within my map view. Now I'm going to click the print button and I'm going to get a simple dialog. Map title. By default, it just is Muskegon County Zoning Notifier. I'm going to put in 990 Terrace zoning request. The layout, by default, is the zoning notifier letter landscape map. There are a few other templates. You can use these, but this zoning notifier is the one designed for this particular application. We're going to choose to put it out as a PDF, but you could choose an image file such as a GIF or a JPEG. I'd recommend you click the Advanced button, and if you have your map looking just like you want it, instead of choosing map scale, which might zoom in or zoom out when you print, say that you want to preserve the map extent. That will make sure that this entire area is shown on your final map. I'm going to change the author to my name. You don't have to, you can leave the defaults there. And we'll just leave all of the rest of the settings. If you want a higher quality resolution print, you can put out the DPI to a higher number. Click off of that, and I'm simply going to click print. It'll take a few seconds, sometimes up to a minute, for this print to create itself and be ready for download. It all depends on the complexity of the map and what layers are being displayed. So for this first print, I'm just using the standard base map. I'll show you one additional print after this one is completed and show you how you can change to the aerial photography view as well. So once it's completed, you can simply click on that PDF and it will open up and show you what you have on your map. Now, subject property might be a little bit too big. You may want to edit some of those things, or maybe it's good enough. Maybe you chose not to do any drawings. A lot of zoning administrators just let the maps speak for itself. I'll go ahead and get out of that and go back to the application again. And I'm going to close the print dialog this time, and I'll show you another couple of tools. We have on the left the legend, so any layer that is currently showing will show you in the legend. The next is the layer list, and in this tool, I could turn on and off different layers that are within our map. So if I didn't want to see the street center lines, I could turn the streets off. If I did not want to see the parcels, and I didn't want to see some of the easements, for example, I could start turning those off. Some are displayed because of being required by the notifier. And most of the time, this is designed for you to leave all of these on. It's a very simple map. There's a bookmark where if you want to quickly zoom to a particular municipality, you can do it from this bookmark list. But what I want to show you here is on this last button, it's an additional tools button, and I want to show you the base map gallery. When you choose the base map gallery, you can choose different aerial photography or other layers. So I'll choose our April 2019 Muskegon photography. I'll go quickly back to the notifier. Since I walked through this before, I'll just quickly select these. Try it again. Clear. Clicking and it's adding two. So there are my parcels, 325 feet. And I'm going to go ahead and print my map. And this time I'll just leave all the settings the same, but I'll hit print. And now this would create a map with the aerial photography underneath. Notice my property is a little centered differently, so it will actually not show up quite the same on my print. That's because I moved the map earlier in the demonstration. That is a quick and basic tour of the new zoning notification application. It is designed to be a very efficient way to quickly select and create mailing lists for your zoning notifications. I look forward to your comments and feedback so that we can continue to enhance the maps as we need to based on your suggestions. With that, I'll pull up this aerial photography view and we will end our tutorial. Thank you. Have a great day.